Kingdom Hearts Dark Road just had its crazy conclusion and confirmed many new story revelations. This video will go over the craziest ones, including some details that director Tetsuya Nomura revealed in the new Dark Road Q&A, which includes the Kingdom Hearts Missing Link release date? Stay tuned to find out. Welcome to 9 details confirmed in Dark Road's finale. Number 1. How Xehanort found Ventus. Have you ever wondered how Xehanort found Ventus at the beginning of Birth by Sleep? Well, in Chapter 4 of Dark Road, we see a time jump to Master Xehanort in the Dwarf Woodlands. Xehanort is seen talking to the Magic Mirror, explaining how he has the dreams of certain friends from a time that he can't quite remember. Xehanort asks if any of these friends exist and where he could find them, and the mirror responds, saying, "Amongst an ocean of keys, on a vast barren land, a boy bearing great light and darkness doth stand." This is referring to Ventus, as he is transported to the Keyblade graveyard at the end of Union Cross, and we know that Xehanort later finds a great darkness within Ventus at the beginning of Birth by Sleep, that being Vanitas. Number 2. Vanitas is a true darkness. Honestly, this is something that I've been theorizing to be true for a long time, but it's finally been confirmed in Dark Road. At the end of Chapter 7, there's a scene of Xehanort speaking with Vanitas, and during this scene, we find out that Vanitas isn't the dark half of Ventus's heart as we previously were made to believe, but Vanitas is actually one of the 13 true darknesses, and entered Ventus's body during the events of Union Cross before he got transported into the future using the lifeboat. This scene in Cage 3 really hits different now.
Then why won't you stand by our side? Instead of with darkness? Because I am darkness.
Number 3. The Lost Masters have darkness. In the finale of Union Cross, the Master of Masters explains to Lucio that his plan is to use all of his apprentices, as well as himself, as vessels in order to destroy 7 of the 13 true darknesses for good, as that's the only way to do so, or so he says. However, it was not explicitly stated during Union Cross's finale that this had already happened, but finally, in Episode 5 of Dark Road, it is confirmed that this has indeed already happened. Master Odin explains to Vidar, the 7 most powerful darknesses were imprisoned within the Keyblade Masters of yore, who had offered themselves as vessels and came to be called the Lost Masters. That completely throws my black box theory out the window, but oh well. Number 4. How to kill darkness. Before the finale of Dark Road, we already knew that it is impossible to destroy darkness while it is formless. For a willful darkness to gain a form, it first has to attach itself to somebody's heart, and by killing the person who the darkness is attached to, you would also be destroying the darkness that is inside. However, in the Dark Road update, we find out about a second way to get rid of the true darkness. In Chapter 7, it is revealed by Master Odin that by summoning Kingdom Hearts, it could be possible to purge all of the darkness from the world, but you would also be purging everything else in the process. And once you purge the entire world, it would be reborn from darkness. Therefore, it would be too big of a risk to take. Number 5. Bragi's true identity. This somehow flew under everyone's radar before the last update for Dark Road released, but it is now revealed that Lucio has been using Bragi as a vessel this whole time. We totally should have seen this coming because of Bragi's constant smug face, and more importantly, because the name is Bragi, which is so close to Brag. I personally thought it would be too obvious for Bragi to be Lucio, given the circumstances, but that's probably what Nomura wanted us to think. What a madman. Number 6. The blue-robed figure's true identity. In the epilogue of Dark Road, we finally find out the identity of the person in the blue robe who we see taking care of young Xehanort on Destiny Islands. At the beginning of the game, we see Xehanort having dreams of events that transpired during Union Cross. These dreams were from the perspective of the player character. We initially believed, due to the ending of Union Cross, that the player character reincarnated as Xehanort, which would also explain why Xehanort had been having these dreams. However, the reason Xehanort is having these dreams is because of his ability to feel what other people's hearts are feeling, and he was simply sensing what the robed figure was feeling, because the player character from Union Cross actually reincarnated as the robed figure, and not Xehanort. It is speculated that this robed figure will be our playable character in Kingdom Hearts Missing Link, but that is yet to be seen. Number 7. The Child of Destiny Prophecy. As the identity of the robed figure is revealed to us in Dark Road's epilogue, we are also told that during his second life, presumably in Missing Link, he learned that light was to expire and darkness prevail, but that the Child of Destiny would change this outcome. It is said that the Child of Destiny must also hail from the Isles of Destiny, referring to the Destiny Islands. Player believes that Xehanort is the Child of Prophecy because of his ability to connect with people's hearts and know what their hearts are feeling. However, we know that Xehanort is not the Child of Destiny thanks to Luxu in the previous scene, where he says that there's no chosen one yet. This could also be inferred by the events that transpired in KH3, and also by the fact that Xehanort was actually born in Scala ad Caelum and not the Destiny Islands. This Child of Destiny prophecy most likely refers to Sora, who has been able to rewrite destiny by abusing the power of waking and has saved worlds from darkness 3 times at this point. Number 8. Xehanort's Ancestry. It is also revealed by the player that Xehanort has the blood of Ephemer coursing through his veins, and this is another reason why player believes that Xehanort is the Child of Prophecy. In Nomura's recent Dark Road interview, he confirms that Xehanort's mother is related to Skuld, and this will perhaps be further explored in Missing Link. It will be really interesting to see if any other characters we know about have a special connection with past Keyblade wielders. Only time will tell. Xehanort's ancestry is really funny to think about though, because in Kingdom Hearts 3, Sora gets help from Ephemer to defeat Demontide. So in a way, Xehanort's great-great-grandfather helps Sora to defeat his great-great-grandson. Number 9. The Underworld and the Final World. This one I had to add to the end of the list while I was editing because I somehow forgot, but anyway. In Chapter 7 of Dark Road, we learn that the Underworld shares a special connection with the Final World, as Xehanort and Ericus are able to communicate with their upper classmates whose hearts are now in the Final World. I believe this has serious implications for Kingdom Hearts 4, as we see Donald and Goofy talking to Hades at the end of the KH4 reveal trailer. Maybe the Underworld could be a gateway for Donald and Goofy to get into the Final World, and then meet up with Sora in Quadratum. Alright, now I have some honorable mentions that I want to go over that was part of Tetsuya Nomura's Dark Road Q&A. So number 1, the reason for Xehanort's baldness. As explained in Nomura's recent Dark Road interview, he lets us know that the reason for Xehanort becoming bald is simply because he shaved. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's it? That's all it is? Well, during my initial viewing of the Dark Road finale, I completely glossed over one line of dialogue that is completely easy to miss that addresses Xehanort's baldness in a little bit more detail. In Chapter 4 of Dark Road, the magic mirror points out how Xehanort has fewer hairs on his head, in which Xehanort tells the mirror how it is a demonstration of his resolve. In Japanese media, especially in anime, cutting one's hair is a very common motif that is used to symbolize a personal change in one's life. If you've ever watched the original Naruto, it's similar to how Sakura cuts her hair to symbolize her newfound resolve and putting her past behind her. For Xehanort, his personal change is most likely him going down a darker path and becoming the Seeker of Darkness. Number 2. Xehanort's mother is related to Skuld. In Nomura's recent Dark Road interview, Nomura reveals that while Xehanort's mother is not Skuld, she is in fact related to Skuld, and that these bloodlines will be further explored in Kingdom Hearts Missing Link. This really throws a wrench in the Subject X theory, as it was previously speculated that Subject X, who was mentioned in the Kingdom Hearts 3 secret reports, is Skuld from Union Cross. Perhaps Skuld could still be Subject X, but now I'm not so sure. Number 3. Xehanort could appear in future titles? In Nomura's Dark Road interview, Nomura reveals that just because the Dark Seeker saga is finished, doesn't mean that we'll never see Xehanort again. Could this be hinting at a return for Xehanort, or maybe a small cameo? This is really interesting to me, especially with Nomura's new art of young Xehanort. Some fans on Twitter have made an interesting connection between the new art by Nomura and the Miyashita Park, which is located in Shibuya, Japan. You can actually see some arches in Nomura's art, and you can see Xehanort holding an umbrella, and in this image you can see these same arches with the same exact spacing in between, with people walking around and holding umbrellas as well. Either this is a crazy tinfoil hat theory, or Nomura is indeed hinting at Xehanort making a return in Quadratum. Perhaps Xehanort or Xehanort's spirit might aid Sora during Kingdom Hearts 4. Number 4. The Missing Link beta release date. Finally, what you've all been waiting for. Tetsuya Nomura has apparently hinted at the Kingdom Hearts Missing Link release date. In the untranslated version of the new Dark Road Q&A, the Q&A is structured in a way where it uses Q for question and the letter A for answer. However, questions 4 and 10 use O's instead of Q's. I personally don't believe that this is a mistake, as it would be pretty hard to not notice this mistake, especially coming directly from Square Enix. This is definitely intentional, and I believe believe this hints towards the Missing Link beta release date, that being October 4th, which is the 4th day of the 10th month. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, you might be interested in a more lighthearted video where I play through Kingdom Hearts 1 with only 1 HP.